hold on just a minute. Here's Larry King.
Hello?
I'd like to ask Mr. Robertson two quick questions. One, what he thought about the Bush Quail commercials. Were they effective? Should they have had more family values on them? Also, how can you say you want a party of inclusion when you're so blatantly anti-gay?
Such as radio, television.
You take the one sentence, turn it around, completely different issue. Remember, you're answering the question. Okay. You can talk about anything you want to.
Well, I am moved. I want a kinder and gentler nation.
Because America is so infused by media that we are all spinning in a way.
We're embellishing our story.
Embellishment is okay. There's...
What's not okay? Where does spin
the
begin?
The disingenuous part, the calculating, this isn't the whole truth part.
If he tries to corner you on Buchanan, do the same thing, slide off it. Go back to the inclusion. You gotta expand the party, and you gotta bring everybody together. You can't worry about the problems of 1992. You gotta look ahead to 96. Focus on the future.
Kind of weird being seen around the world. Technology.
It's amazing. I think Saddam Hussein is watching this very much.
You feeling well, by the way?
Yeah?
Are you feeling well?
You're good. Lucky. Running still and played tennis yesterday.
What is that disease you had?
Crohn's, no, not Crohn's, just thyroid. I don't know what it's got in it.
What are they? They drug treated, right?
Take a drug every single morning, a little blue thing, Synthroid or something. And it wasn't hard. It's what the thyroid does to make your heart fibrillate. It's been very good.
I took Halcyon for a long time after my heart surgery.
Are you often active? I don't know that it's bad like it.
It's the best sleeping pill in the world, but not daily.
No, oh no.
Okay.
Now it's getting such a bad rap.
Don't put a lot of that garbage on. What is this? Are we on the national? Can we turn that on? I don't want to be on national television being made up.
We're just turning the camera away from him, so...
You want to take one of Anna? You got it. Do whatever you need to do. Channel 4, do you read us in Washington? WYFF. Come in, come in.
Remember that every single man, woman, and child in the state of South Carolina awakens to a freer, safer world because of George Bush.
WIS, do you hear us in Washington?
I would remind people that every single morning we all awaken to a safer, freer world because of George Bush.
WCBD, do you hear us in Washington?
And Nicole, I would remind you and the people of Florence that all of us awaken every single day to a freer, safer world because of George Bush.
WCSC, do you read us in Washington?
They themselves awaken every single day to a freer, safer world because of George Bush.
I feel I have the experience and leadership to take America in new directions.
One new direction, Job Training 2000. Mr. Bush's plan to retrain blue-collar workers and the unemployed for new job opportunities.
Before Al Gore was famous, Tammy, on his book tour, he drove over to Mutual Network all by himself, came up in that great Crystal City elevator.
I still remember the day I became famous.
Yeah.
When your column in USA Today came in.
On that thing, on that book. I always remember the card you sent me. Tell Bill if he'd do that thing in New York, it would be terrific. He's so good at this. Clinton.
Yeah, yeah.
One of the problems with staying on a bus too long is the two of you guys are so good on media.
You know what you ought to do? You ought to come out on the bus trip with us one day. We could do a joint interview from the bus.
We're out of time. You can invite us on the bus.
Okay.
We have plumb run out of time. Thanks for coming, Al.
I'd like to invite you to come on the bus with us.
But I want him to finish the thought here. That's the one break we have to hit live. It's an around the world break. Hard to believe we're being watched in 151 countries. It's scary. I'm in Israel. I'm at the Wailing Wall. True story. Israel. Never been there before. I'm there with my brother. I'm Jewish. It's my culture. I'm standing there as an old rabbi, davening. He's praying. Old, a religious Jewish man. He looks up at me and he says, "What's with Perot?" I swear to God, what's with Perot? In Israel. I love it. It's crazy. Ted Turner changed the world. I'm a big fan of yours.
Is it?
He would serve you at Boston. You know what I mean? I'm really surprised. He's ready. What's he got left in life to gain? After you're elected, think about it. No dope.
That's for sure.
Great guy to work for, too.
This is great. I love these. Can we do any more? We do some now. We do those two now. Gotta do some more in Florida and Texas. Have we done all of Colorado today?
Yeah, we got one more done.
Today.
Amid continuing allegations of tabloid reports pointing to extramarital affairs, Arkansas Governor Bill Clinton is this noon campaigning across the South.
Hello, Mike. Everybody in America who's had problems in their marriage, who either wound up divorced or who got back together, votes for me. I'm a shoo-in. Can you hear me? I figure if everybody in Maryland who's ever had trouble in their marriage and they're still together, or who's ever been divorced votes for me, I'm a shoo-in. Hello? And you know, if every American couple who's either been divorced or had problems and stayed married votes for me, I'm a shoo-in for re-election. I think the American people are smarter than the pundits.
There's no makeup here? They promised to bring this stuff over.
How about if I run over that super cigarette?
You looked all right on camera.
What's that?
You look all right. There's no hot spots.
Really? Okay. We usually got a mustache that shows through here.
Okay,
Why don't you go get some stuff, Mike? Oh, yeah. There we go. Campaign funds.
And on stage, the 5 major contenders for the Democratic presidential nomination.
Good evening and welcome to the Democratic presidential candidates debate on urban America. We are coming to you live from Lehman College, and you'll hear a bit of a disturbance in the background, but we'll go on with that in any case. Bronxborough President Ferdinand Ferrer, and Mr. President, I suggest you wait for just a moment till the man is quieted or chooses to quiet down.
All right, Mr. Ferrer, during this campaign, but very little said about the problems facing America's cities. Tonight, we'll change all that.
To restore order right now, there are 3,000 National Guardsmen on duty in the city of Los Angeles. Another 2,200 stand ready to provide immediate support.
Oh, what a beautiful morning.
This morning we're here looking for solutions.
Yeah, so what's your impression? Because my impression is, places like South Central LA, around the country, look more and more like real third world countries, or third world countries without the hope. That is, they have no medical care, they have no real economy, and yet in a third world country, it's developing. There's some onward development. There's some vision for the future.
Well, your impressions of the medical care are you talking about? I think that gets too obtuse. How about if I
ask about the level of the trauma care here has always been considered superior, has it not, to other parts of the country?
Cook. Yeah, 30 seconds.
Yeah, it's the best, you know,
Why
gun
don't I
shelter.
say something like that?
Okay. Well, a hospital like Martin Luther King can see more trauma than all of Western Europe does in a year. In fact, there's so much trauma there that the U.S. Army sends its combat surgeons there so they get a sense of what these very severe wounds were like. In fact, when I was in the Gulf War, a number of the senior combat surgeons had trained right here at Martin Luther King Hospital.
Dr. Bob, thanks.
And later, Eye on the Campaign, you will see and hear some of the suburban voters who may very well decide this election. Back now live from St. Louis. There is news far beyond this city tonight. In, what is this, in Hawaii? In Haiti. Oh, well, they all look alike to me. In Haiti, a huge explosion leveled a three-story building in downtown Port-au-Prince. At least 15 Haitians were killed. Take a look at the roads leading into and out of Los Angeles. Lately, you see more taillights than headlights. A lot of people leaving this town for good. Where are they going? Anywhere else. Make a note. Give it to Kathy, who may be the best at this. Since we're going to wish people a happy Rosh Hashanah, which is my idea and a good idea, just don't forget to check when Ramadan is. We have to wish all of our Muslim friends happy Ramadan. And then behind that, when you get to the Buddhist New Year, the year of the rat or the year of the monkey, whatever it is, we have to... got to be politically correct here, pal.
Justice, no peace. No justice, no peace. I'm sorry, we're still hung up in our court here. They're just marching up and down the streets, and they formed a big bulkhead here at the end of at the corner with the chants. No justice, no peace is what they're chanting. You can hear them now. We can still going here. Well, let's go.
No justice, no peace. No justice, no peace. No justice, no peace. We ain't got nothing to say. Never change, people. There should never been a change of venue. No justice. There should never been a change of venue. And as a result, this is what you have. This is what you have. There's not Crips down here. There's no Bloods down here. There's just concerned citizens down here that don't like the way the system is done. This is what we're talking about.
Could you tell me, sir, could you tell me? Could you tell me? The police are closing in. They're trying to surround us. Okay, they're off.
No justice,
You did that, they cut us.
Huh?
They cut us when you did that. No justice, no peace.
As the looting goes on in a senseless fashion. People arguing for sanity on the one hand, simultaneous looting in a random fashion for things that people can't even use.
Okay, I'm standing by, ladies and gentlemen. We don't have shit to say. We don't have anything to do, but by God, the management of this company deems it necessary that I come on the air. We're going to shut the shit out of all of you.
In just half an hour from now, the jury in the federal Rodney King beating trial will be back in session.
You announce that they get rid of their gate tomorrow and they'll stop tomorrow. You announce that.
I felt anger. I felt pain. I thought, how can I explain this to my grandchildren?
This was very effective.
Yeah.
What?
No, and also when you talked about talking with Barbara and your kids about
How to explain this to my grandchildren?
And given the fact that this is a presidential election year, it's also a challenge to the man who would challenge the president for the country's leadership.
But if you can really tell one good story about you.
Of course, everyone knows the old rhyme. In 1492, Columbus sailed the ocean blue. We know his voyage took him to the New World, and his arrival changed the world forever. But beyond that, much about Columbus remains the subject of some dispute.
As you said, he presided over death of 250,000 people. No, that wasn't at his own hand. That was others who followed him and disease and that sort of thing.
No,
he couldn't control.
I'm talking about like his first 2 years here, 250,000. It's pretty well documented. He took his interpreters, he took his guides as slaves. He chopped off the hands of anyone over 14, any male over 14 who couldn't bring him gold. He took women as sex slaves for his men.
Dr. Mattei, I want to thank you very much for coming by. Thanks for spending some time with us this morning on the Good Morning Show.
You're welcome. That was brief.
Okay. Hopefully painless, sir.
Interesting debate. I'm not sure we've settled it this morning, but we appreciate trying. That's true. Thank you both.
Thank you.
And we'll be back with more of our special edition of Today on Governor's Island right after this.
What did he say that made any sense? Anything?
They just, think that he ruined the paradise and had no respect for nature and treated the Indians like dog do and...
What the hell is he doing?
1 minute. Okay.
I think I'm pregnant.
Doesn't help matters when primetime TV has Murphy Brown.
He is talking about you.
He epitomizes today's intelligent, highly paid professional woman, mocking the importance of fathers by bearing a child alone and calling it just another lifestyle choice.
I'm an executive producer. I'll just executive produce this baby.
Well, you haven't given us any specificity about where you stand on this, Senator. In the past, particularly in the House of Representatives, you voted against federal funding for abortions, and that meant for poor women.
In some circumstances.
Well, tell us the circumstances, please.
All right. The circumstances debated have involved rape and incest and life, where the life of the mother is injured. That's what freedom is all about. That's what tolerance is all about. That's what our country stands for.
Well, I'm still confused. I'll try one more time. When you voted against federal funding for abortions, except under the 3 circumstances you outlined, had your vote carried the day, you would have imposed your belief on poor women in this country.
There was no and there is no national health insurance program today.
Okay.
And the president of the Christian Broadcasting Network, Mr. Pat Robertson.
I have 2 television networks. I have 3 radio news networks. I'm starting Standard News. I have 50 reporters right now working for me that are very fine.
Operation Rescue has targeted 5 abortion clinics in Buffalo for a minimum of 2 weeks of activities aimed at shutting the facilities down. A battle both sides vow to win. Andrea Francis, CBN News.
There's
have sent word to keep that Operation Rescue. I don't want one word on this program this week about Operation Rescue.
Well, we're not. We're not.
I don't want to cover it. I don't want to talk about it. And I want you to do it.
I mean, we felt like we should cover it as in.
Don't cover anything about the abortion debate any longer. It doesn't matter. They passed the platform. We need to get cameras covering our rally, our guy.
Oh, we're there. We're going to be there.
And
does it start?
And then you need cameras
It's crunch
shooting
time for President George Bush.
or me sitting in the vice president's spot. Various things.
We can have you seated.
Both.
Both.
5 minutes before.
But I believe in objective news. I believe in balanced news. I don't want to slant the news. I just want to tell it like it is. How many camera crews do we have?
We have 2.
Right. You get 2 reporters, and you stick those cameras in the face of anybody you want to and start asking a question.
Hey,
You
Lou.
want to ask a tough question.
I let them know right now we haven't seen you.
I mean, get out there. Don't even say who you're from.
He doesn't show them. We'll just go from there.
What do you think is the president of the Texas? You think this thing in Persian Gulf, there might be a military killing? You think that's election? I mean, stick it to
We'll discuss with them.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, and cameras right in their face. Sam, go up and ask you a question. Boom.
We'll do. We'll do it.
If they want to play hardball, we play hardball.
I'm not sure at that point it's going to go up.
52-796. It was a squeaker, but we made it.
A lot of broadcasters are gone. Some needed to, some it was financial pressure.
"75 years ago, a plague descended upon the world and covered the nations of Eastern Europe like a dark cloud. But ladies and gentlemen, a more benign but equally insidious plague has fastened itself upon the families of America. Ladies and gentlemen, the carrier of this plague is the Democrat Party.
That Republican convention was one of the most hateful things. I'm a Republican, but I'll tell you what, Pat Robertson personally was one of the reasons why I voted against George Bush.
Okay, now, Pat, he's saying you would not let a pro-choice person chair your party, or you would try to stop it.
He just contradicted what I just said. I'm sitting here in this chair telling you something different, and he said I won't do. How does he know what I'll do? I think if he obviously didn't hear my speech at the convention, because it closed with a beautiful story of a lovely lady holding a little starving child in her arm, and it was a call for a better world and one nation under God. I can't see how anybody said that was hateful. I don't know where he's coming from, but there's something there that is not just on the surface, I think, because I didn't say the things he said I did.
We'll be right back with Pat Robertson and Lynn Martin and more of your phone calls on Larry King Live, then Tina Sinatra. Don't go away.
That guy was on the wall. Yeah, sure alive.
Eating the gravel. You take the one sentence, turn it around, go into another issue. Remember, you're answering the question. Okay. You can talk about anything you want to. Yeah.
What's that?
Did you get a good question?
No.
This last one is.
The last one, I didn't get
I
it.
said, who in the heck is screening these calls? I've had one person call him a bigot. I've had another person call him a zealot. Let's get some balance out there. Well, the last one.
It's too late. The last one's okay, but the first 3 were all homosexual.
I know. I know.
I've had this before.
You can answer the question any way you choose to.
I hear you.
All right? Remember, so take it where you want it to go. Take it where you want it to go. I don't like the producer of this segment.
Well, they were trying to set me up.
That's what they told me. And that's what the Harris people told me.
Did they accomplish it, or have I come back all
No,
right?
I think you're fine. I think that I'm just very upset.
Yeah, well.
You haven't come across any case as angry.
I don't know, I'm not angry. Who's on there? I'll send you. It would be. I think they'll be out of here in about another. I hear you. You're right.
So to speak.
And this would mean that there would be 4 televised presidential debates, more than ever held in any presidential election. And if Governor Clinton is serious about debating, he will accept this challenge, and he will instruct his campaign officials to meet promptly with my campaign officials to work out the details directly between the parties. Let's get it on.
Bill, baby, let's do it. Get it on, as we say.
Let's get up there and get it on, side by side.
Sunday night, Mr. Bush is going to go on Larry King Live. So what I think is, Larry King ought to have us both on there and let the American people call their questions in. That's what we ought to do. Then we get the best of both worlds, one moderator and millions of questioners. I think it would really be a great thing. So I've asked our people to contact Larry King and see if we can arrange it. I'm ready to go. Let's get it on.
Hi, Tom, can you hear me?
Yeah.
They've just confirmed both sides. They're meeting at 8 o'clock tonight.
Okay.
I think it's at Mickey's office. Malik, Teeter, Darman will attend for the president, and they have turned down Larry King, so I've rewritten my live lead.
Al looks great.
You saw where he proposed you as the moderator of the debates.
Who?
What didn't we? I think we did.
Yeah.
When he was going, when the president was going to be on
I'd
the
be
show.
happy to be at it.
That shocks me.
I think I'd be a fair amount. You'd get a very fair.
Yeah, I do too.
I'm the fairest person, I think.
I'll let you know.
Right out. You're doing great. I will tell you. I'll be the first to tell you. Did they pick the journalists today for St. Louis? Did they pick the reporters?
Not yet.
Okay. Thanks.
And I still think, you know, there's a lot of merit to that.
Who's on Sunday night? We know yet?
No, the moderator. I don't think we know yet. No, it hasn't been chosen.
But you have input. They have input. Pro has input.
That's correct.
Right up my alley. That stuff's right up my alley. No one would get it in the edge.
What's that?
Be fair. You'll sit best in the debates because you don't come with any baggage. You could elevate it every time they talk about something silly. You say, come on. What are we wasting time? To me, you sit very effective. You could have a great effect on this life.
Just let's go get it on.
Get it on, so to speak.
Good evening and welcome to the second of 3 presidential debates between the major candidates for President of the United States. So, President Bush, I think you said it earlier, let's get it on.
Good morning. The latest presidential polls show President Bush is closing in on Bill Clinton in the final week before the election. One poll shows the 2 candidates are almost even. A CNN USA Today poll shows Clinton and Bush virtually deadlocked.
What a night, what a finish. What a year for me. Huh? A year for me has been unbelievable. Changed the world. It's different. CNN poll today. Unbelievable. Strangest year in the history of me.
I hear you, Tom.
Tell me about it. What?
Tell me about it.
Hold on.
God, I got a darn cold.
Got a cold?
Fever.
My brother's in the drug business. Oh, of course. Let go. Thanks, Patrick. Right ahead, a historic evening. 90-minute special, Larry King Live, with the President of the United States and your phone calls. It's next from Racine, Wisconsin. Don't go away. My brother's in the pharmaceutical business. He says there's a new pill coming from Israel, better than Halcyon.
Beef for sleeping or beef is just great?
We're back. It's now shortly after 9 o'clock in the east. Polls are still open in the west, of course, in the mountain time zone as well. There's a winner in the Rocky Mountain states. Colorado, 8 electoral votes. Perot was a big factor.
Clinton's taken New Mexico, according to them. Rhode Island. Delaware.
Mr. Roberts, would you like to reorganize the Republican Party around the Christian tenets that you hold so dear?
I would like to see a winning coalition like Ronald Reagan had. I think we've got to get economic conservatives together with social conservatives and some who are foreign policy advocates of the foreign policy initiatives that we've seen very successfully over the last 10 or 12 years, and to put together that coalition. And I think that the last thing we need is recrimination and finger pointing and that sort of thing. It's good. The Republican Party will probably have a splendid opportunity if we have some economic collapse in the next 2 or 3 years to come back strong in '96.
Pat Robertson, thank you very much.
Thanks.
Frank Gumbel?
Tom, that's the closest we've seen to the start of what might be a round of finger pointing. How much of it do you think we are going to see?
Well, I think that the Pat Robertson movement, and he's not the only one who's involved in it, is very important and to some Republicans a little terrifying right now because they're very well organized.
He says we're very important and very well organized in county by county. Yes, then you're really just right. They'll organize out of sight of the conventional machinery and then go out and win.
Clearly this goal is almost within reach. Clinton's trying to lift his sights beyond the attack politics.
4 years.
Feeling that his goal is almost within reach, Clinton is now trying to lift his sights beyond the attack politics of the campaign.
But here's what Clinton economics could mean to you. $1,088 more in taxes. $2,072 more in taxes.
4 years ago, he asked you to believe him.
Read my lips.
Now he's asking you to believe his attacks against Bill Clinton.
I need to get the big banner on the PVC. I need to use it at the school to flush out the bush quail sign, say abortion, right in the corner there, and you copy it. Don't point. I know. We're going to get somebody to rip that Dodger sign in half with a fix sign. Somebody's going to go bar to there that you copy. They're going to get a fist fight too. That abortion is going to kill us too. We can't block everything.
Everyone's watching on Little Rock.
They're watching these satellite feeds?
Oh yeah, we can, you know, we pull it whenever any of you all do a satellite tour, they pull it down on Little Rock on all the monitors and the whole headquarters.
Just the actual interviews, not this part.
But whenever we do a live satellite feed of like a big rally or something, it was a really very interesting instance. The Buffalo rally, There were some protesters. And Little Rock saw it where the advanced people couldn't because they were backstage. So the desk, Dwight just called the advanced people on the phone and said, no, walk 10 feet to the left. There's a sign and the camera shot there. Edge that guy over. I mean, so it's like Little Rock directed Buffalo and watched it dismantle on television. They watched the dismantling of a problem.
Right.
And they, you know, where the advanced person is in a sea of 2,000 people, Little Rock was able to say, move to, I can see you on TV. Now go 2 people over to your left. It was really very fascinating. High tech.
Yeah, that's good.
So that's why when they said there are shadows on your face, that was Little Rock calling, saying shadows on your face.
Oh.
See, everybody watches.
Citizens of the United States, this is a message from Anonymous. This is a message to the 99%. This is a message to what is becoming the American autumn. This is a message to the whispers of revolution beginning to stir in every major American city, and in the heart of every afflicted member of the youth. It is becoming obvious that due to certain technical difficulties the revolution will not be televised. It will not be broadcasted. This is quite alright, media, you serpents of the elite, for we will go under you. We will go around you. We will go over you. This country has never seen a movement from our generation. They have never seen a movement from the children of the internet. They haven't the slightest clue what we are capable of. We have reached critical mass. This is the point of no return. Walk with us, among us as one of us. Artists. Move the movement. Stoke the flames. We are all the 99%. We are all anonymous. We are all legion. We will never forget. Expect us.
We are anonymous.